Welcome and hello and hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. Thank you for tuning in to Un Poco Mas. Guys, as many of you know, I am a writer. Not only do I write comedy, I've been known to dabble in the horror genre, and I'm working on a new project that, of course, centers around mini water, which is the new obsession of my life. It centers on a hapless accountant just living his workaday life, trudging away, and he of course suffers from chronic dry eye, and he's moisturizing. There's some kind of plot point I haven't really put together yet with a radioactive spider. Ipso facto, yada yada yada. The guy wakes up and his eyes have been replaced by mini waters, and as you can imagine, absolute carnage ensues. Can you imagine? I haven't decided if the water should go this way, kind of an Austin Powers bra type of thing, or this way, or somehow this way, but I've been unable to get my hands on those 2-ounce mini waters that Uncle Chucky and Aunt Sarah have specially made over at SMCI so they can degrade the environment further, just to make up for how damn efficient their racks are, folks. Anyway, today we're talking Nio, guys. Finally, your wait is over. We are talking Nio. Ticker symbol is NIO. We just got huge news. Yes, the Ring alarm is on sale. Absolutely. Very, very important, of course, to all of us. No, the big news, of course, earnings Friday, but I think that's almost irrelevant compared to the news, the tie-up with CATL, deep partnership. CATL invests $376 million or 2 billion RMB, whatever the fuck that is, into Nio Power, and they basically agree, they're going to do the, Choco, no Joko. That's going to basically power Firefly, subsequent Firefly models. They're going to help, standardize, build out swap, deep cooperation on batteries. They're going to have an entire, life cycle set up. We'll go over all that. The interesting thing was, how little the market reacted. And, Hong Kong on the news, the stock shot up. I think it, like 17-18% at one point, but then the algo, the short wing bastards, just locked onto the stock and just dragged it back down. I think at the end of that session, it only had increased 6% or something. And then the US side popped up, I think 7-8% yesterday, dragged back down. I'd have to look. I actually don't know what the F I'm talking about, but it basically, I guess popped up in the pre-market to about 566, and then the algo is just absolutely locked onto this thing. The interesting part is this even current? Yeah, so volume, falling back again today, interestingly enough, but the CATL deal, is just not going away. The shorts are also not going away. Borrowing today, 7 million shares. You see the short interest has picked up just incredibly. Just February 24, there was 148 million shares on loan. So that's gone up by 60 million shares in less than a month. And then you see exactly what I said would start to happen when the stock was going to make a huge move to the upside, which is that the short would increase and the shares on loan would start to plummet. Okay. And we've seen that, shares on loan 26 February were 412 million. So while the short increase has increased 60 million shares in the last couple of weeks, shares on loan has decreased 60 million shares in the last couple of weeks. And that's exactly what you expect to happen, at least what I expect to see happen before a stock makes a huge move to the upside. Now, just to look at the chart, because I am the chart master, I always carry at least 2 pairs of clean underwear with me at all times. We were coming down in this wedge, guys. Very, very well-defined, price fixing, short weighing, rig the bid and ask, illegal on, multiple continent type price fixing. And you see this just working down, just trudging down. Now you see anytime a lot of volume comes in, even all the way back here, anytime you see a lot of volume come into the stock, it's green. I mean, you guys can see that just with your own eyes, but essentially the stock bottomed out a year ago. The stock bottomed out in April of 2024, and it's just been trading sideways, essentially support has been found along this horizontal line, and we came to a wedge here where the stock was either going to break down, below 3 into the 2s, or it was going to have to move up somewhere. Now it chose to move up just a tiny bit so far, but I think this is the kind of catalyst. Now the shorts are rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, because this deal absolutely cements the future of Nio. All that consolidation, bankruptcy, companies, that's not going to be Nio. CATL, I think, recognized how monumental Nio's accomplishments actually are to date, and the fact that they've gone it almost completely alone. And only recently, governments have started to come out and say, hey, we're going to bear some of the cost of building out these swap stations. It's absolutely insane of us to expect one relatively small company to build this entire public utility that we think is a good idea for the entire country and entire world. And we're expecting, William Lee, a guy who cuts his hair with a weed whacker, to do this all single-handedly. I mean, he's very capable. Everything is coming together for Nio, even before this huge CATL deal, but this cements it. I mean, this validates beyond any reasonable, fathomable doubt that Nio was right about the biggest gamble in automotive history. It's battery swap. Usually the market rewards you when you take a massive gamble all by yourself and you are proven to be right. Not only that, but you prove the concept, you execute, you bring on all kinds of partners. You make, some of the swap stations are already what Nio has accomplished is nothing short of incredible, phenomenal. It's insurmountable, it's unassailable. All the other car companies are going out of business, crikey. Oh my God. But the level of cooperation, I think, is going to be surprising. Now, shorts today, not doing too much. 31 probably covering some shares. Last few days been sort of neutral, probably a little bit of covering. So, we expect shares on loan come down, short come up. We'll see. This is not reflected, of course, in the filings yet. You're not going to see these days in the filings, till the end of the month in the official report. So you guys know how that stuff works. What's going on, Savage of Wall Street? How's it going, Blake Wall? The wall, that hair clipper money coming through. Don't make me do it, Savage. We'll call Alberto in here. Oh, those guys love each other. Don't get that. Don't get that love fest going. He's not going to regulate. He's not going to hit the Savage with the wrench. He doesn't have the heart. Doesn't have the heart to do it. I don't think Alberto would ban Savage. Let's see, guys. Definitely don't like and subscribe. Probably the stupidest thing you could do in your entire life. It's a great clap, my dog. Let's Poco. Indeed. Carl Seamark, the Mattress King of Chicago, is here. It's Danny Mini Water Deals. Carl Seamark, probably the greatest mattress salesman since Will Ferrell in that horrible, hey, what's that? And he's like, why can't you read it? He's like, no, I don't read Sanskrit. It's like, it says make reasonable choices. Just that tattooed visibly up by your face in Sanskrit. It's kind of, ironical. But hey, that's Will Ferrell, those cameos. He gets crazy. Chaz, that movie. It's always banging your sister or something. Meatloaf. Anyway, guys, welcome and hello, and welcome. The great Carl Seamark, of course, reminded me that it's time for nicknames, guys. They call me Mini Water because I'm shaped like a cylinder and I always leave you wanting more. They call me, I don't know what this is, Mr. I think of these and I can't even read it. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride because I'm stupid and I like hats. They call me the Teacups because I'm round shaped and I make most adults nauseous. Guys, who writes this material? This is terrible. This is worse than The Daily Show. This is worse than, 5 years ago seasons of SNL when Lorne just completely stopped giving a shit. Could be a Weekend at Bernie's situation over there. I say you bring back Chris Kattan and Mango immediately. I miss Mango. Anyway, guys, welcome and hello. As far as my other nicknames, I can't even remember. They call me Hurricane Lopez because I'm fat and I play tennis. They call me Stock Heron because I'm a big, whiny, obnoxious turd. They call me the tugboat because I'm short in stature. I pull more than my own weight, and I'm rarely far from my home port. They call me Crisco because I am indeed fat in the can. They call me Cornbread, Little Danny Cornbread DeCarlo, because I am moist, doughy, and I crumble under pressure. Of course, you guys know about what was that thing, Cohiba? I can't even fucking remember the cigar one where I had a manscaping accident with my Vitamix, and they call me Stubby. Jesus, I can't even remember, guys. My brain is totally shot. But you knew that if you watch my channel. So they're shorting the stock. Without further ado, let's get to the announcement, guys. Dennis has an announcement. What is it? Match made in heaven. Here is all we know about the CATL Nio battery swap partnership. And this isn't just some vague thing. I think CATL, by the end of the year, Nio is going to have supposedly 5,000 swaps covering the entire country of China. CATL is basically sitting there holding their pud, making a few demonstration swaps for taxis in Shanghai and Chengdu and wherever the fuck else. I can't remember. Let's see. Savage sold some cash secured puts, SMCI 35. That was good timing. Let's see. It took $9. Ooh, that's some sweet premium. That's some juicy premium, guys. But I'm way behind on these comments. The great Marco Guzar has joined us, as has the bookend tackle, the great bookend tackle himself, out there on an island, folks, protecting the quarterback's blind side like Michael Orr. Doesn't have some rich white woman, some Sandy Bullock type, wearing high heels, taking him in. No. Just had regular middle-class parents out there taking him to church, giving him 3 squares, 3 hots and a cot, teaching him right from wrong. That's bookend tackle, salt of the earth guy. As American as apple pie and hot dogs and baseball. But in this case, of course, football. So anyway, guys, what's setting off my 2-bit security bullshit? Who knows? Probably just somebody robbing my house and trying on my neckties and glasses, things like that. Anyway, guys, what's up? We got Marco Good. It's really hard because I think because Nio and SMCI are both dramatically undervalued. SMCI, you have the accounting challenges, you have that lack of trust, but you have exceptional growth. I think the stock is just grotesquely undervalued. And the Nio, I think it's undervalued in the philosophical sense, but even with the CATL deal inked, right now, they're still losing money. Now, Bill Lee said they're shooting for their first, single quarter of profitability in Q4 of this year. Let's see the numbers on Friday, but I really don't see how they get that done unless their margins are improving dramatically because they're not selling that many cars. Let's face it, they haven't even started delivering Firefly yet. And it sounds like that swap network isn't even going to get built, which I think is a great thing. Building out an entire second swap network, the Choco is no Joko, and that's a modular system. You want to have a modular system. You have these little tiny cars that cost like 12 grand, slap 2 or 3 of them in there. You have a sedan, whatever you want. It's a very flexible system. I know until they were tied up with Nio, I said it was a complete piece of shit. But, I'm a homer pumper turd. So, you get what you get. So anyway, let's go over, for those of you who haven't seen it, what's actually going on here. It was meant to be, and it was just a matter of time before it happened. Oh, as luck would have it, irony's bastard cousin. I need some mini water. Oh, shockingly, I'm still, desperately parched and thirsty, but my mini water is gone. See the limitations of mini water? It's 8 ounces of water. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Going to end the scourge of mini waters. The last thing I do. Everybody's walking around dehydrated, and you got these, marketing geniuses taking away 4 ounces of water. Hey, who needs that? Let's just make more bottles. The label people love it. Same damn size label. Charge the same fraction of a penny on that label, don't they? A little bit skinnier. Anyway, guys, this show isn't, exclusively about mini waters, just 90% of the content. But Nio, the world's largest battery swapping operator, which has made battery swapping a viable business model, and CATL, Contemporary Amperex Technology Limited, the world's largest battery EV supplier, which also expanded its own battery swapping. Well, is it? We don't really know. Are coming together to create a powerful alliance to build the world's largest battery swapping network. And it's so much more than that. Their strategic partnership agreement signed between the two on March 17th in Ningji, Fujian province, where CATL is headquartered, is massive in many ways. Not only, guys, I'm not saying this to be hyperbolic. It's not meant to be puffery. It's not meant to be just a carnival barker, ass clown type of fat suburban douche type of announcements that I'm known for. No, this is the biggest deal in EV history. This cements that Nio and battery swap are going to be there in the future. The Chinese state is lining up behind it. I think MENA is huge. You saw them say, BYD, you can't build a factory in Mexico. We don't want our technology going out. The Chinese state is really regulating where certain companies can expand in which parts of the world. Obviously, they set up MENA for Nio, for battery swap, solar-powered swap stations. You have all the bears are left with is, hey, CATL doesn't know what they're talking about. CATL doesn't know about the battery market. CATL doesn't know about China. Everybody's, crapping in their depends because BYD chairman came out yesterday and said, hey, we have a battery that charges in 5 minutes. Well, there's a lot of things I can accomplish in 5 minutes. Doesn't mean it's going to leave anybody satisfied. There is so much more to battery swap than just speed. With known technologies, maybe they've invented flubber or something, split the atom, but the more energy you cram into a battery faster, the more degradation you get. And also, it's a grid off. How many batteries can you charge in 5 minutes to a full charge or a 90% charge in 5 minutes? Nio's already having problems finding spaces where the electric grid is good enough just to put a swap station. China, Middle East, there's very few markets. It has to be extremely developed world in cities. Countries like Japan, South Korea, most of the United States, where you have these reliable power grids. But elsewhere in the world, Middle East, North Africa, you don't. So you don't have the resources to fast charge a vehicle in 30 minutes. You're going to have the resources to fast charge a vehicle in 5 minutes. Is that going to work with solar? Can you charge at off-peak times where there aren't demands on the grid? There, with all due respect to the BYD guy, and I saw what that stood for in this article finally. I think I've heard it before. But anyway, there are millions of other benefits to battery swap. You can test the batteries constantly. You can fix them. You can take ones that aren't working or dangerous out of circulation. Super fast charging doesn't mitigate any of those risks. It, in fact, makes them worse, makes them more pronounced. I don't believe super fast charging negates battery swap at all. I think it just creates more problems than it solves. You still own your battery. We're just going to cram enough energy, just jam it in there. Just jam it in there. Is it Nio or SMCI? Yeah, man. I mean, it depends what you're looking to do. I mean, both the stocks can move. SMCI, I think, has a lot more potential for a short squeeze because there's very few shares to go around. Very high institutional ownership, very high insider ownership. Nio is the opposite. Very low institutional ownership, very low insider ownership. It's not what you want to see. I mean, for me, it's just SMCI is very obvious if they can get through and get past the accounting issues. You have a company growing 60, 70%, trading at, 7, 8x forward earnings. It's unheard of. And in an AI, so I guess over a short-term play, I would probably say SMCI just because it doesn't look like the price-fixing market maker, short-weighing all-stars. The Lester Diamond type country club golf hustlers, the shoe shine boys, the truck stop all stars. It doesn't look like they're done with the stock. They don't care about Contemporary Amperex Technology Company Limited. They don't give a fuck. They're like, CATL, fuck you. We're short the stock. We got tiny wings and a huge short position to overcompensate. I mean, Marco, the honest answer is I own a ton of both. I don't go like one or the other. They're just totally different companies. They both have a fair amount of risk. I think this deal takes a huge amount of the risk out of Nio, but they're not going to be trading on multiples until they're making money, which it sounds like if they can get profitable in Q4 next year, they'd be profitable all year. Knock on wood. Total Pokeball weed whacker job, Mark Ricard. Forever Forgiven. I'm super happy with Nio's partnership. Yeah, me too. Forever Forgiven. This is the best news we could have got. I mean, honestly, I was thinking, BYD might buy out Nio, as I've expressed on this broadcast numerous times, as sort of a check against if they're playing tic-tac-toe, they're going for the block. I'll take Bruce Valanche for the block. Bruce Valanche. Was that show Hollywood Squares? Oh, the stuff you watched during COVID. But obviously that's not what happened. They've been working on this deal for quite some time. I think the Chinese state is driving the bus. I think the Chinese state has, guided Nio, been in the bag for Nio, told Nio what to do, financed Nio, got other, sort of state-owned conglomerate partnership companies on board with the Nio. So Nio just didn't have the muscle to push this thing forward. Their swap network is great. Their charging network is great, but just all alone, they didn't even have enough cars to make this thing profitable. And of course, they're not selling the Onvo, like they wanted to sell the Onvo. So let me try to get through this article before my ADHD just takes me over, sends me over a cliff in a barrel. Sends me over a waterfall, just Niagara Falls style in a barrel. You're seeing that? It's always in cartoons. Some naked guy in a barrel just going over a waterfall. That's neither here nor there. So to start, Nio and CATL will strengthen the sharing of battery swapping networks, accelerate the adoption and advancement of battery swapping services. CATL will support Nio in developing the battery swapping network, while its Choco Swap technical standards and network will be introduced in subsequent newly developed models of Firefly, which are in pre-research, whatever the fuck that is. I guess people are dreaming about it. Both parties' networks will operate in parallel, offering EV users more seamless and efficient swapping experience, making BEV travel more convenient. CATL will also invest up to 2.5 billion won, 346 million US dollars in Nio Power, further cementing the strategic partnership. So they're putting their money where their mouth is. CATL already has about an 11% stake in Wuhan Weining Battery Asset Company Limited, a financing entity established in 2020 to run Nio's battery leasing businesses. And this is one of the things that they said was, in the Big Short report where they attacked Nio, like, hey, no. And then it turns out this is commonplace in the industry to do these leasing arms and stuff. So ultimately, Nio and CATL plan to establish a complete life cycle loop. This is so important. You cannot do this with fast charging. Ultimately, they plan to establish a complete life cycle loop that encompasses battery, R&D, swapping, asset management, reutilization, material recycling. This will help reduce the cost, improve efficiency across the entire value chain, new electric vehicles, while ensuring safety. The strategic partnership is crucial for Nio and CATL. Both are ramping up their battery swapping networks. Nio already owns the most chargers and battery swapping stations in China, having built out mini water. Having built out nearly 3,200 power swap stations in the country, in addition to dozens built out in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. I think they built one or two, and they're probably building a lot more in Africa, but I know they just opened their first one a couple weeks back. Its expressway power swap network connects 18 backbone expressways, 14 city clusters featuring nearly 1,000 power swap stations along expressways and covering 700 cities. By June 30th, Nio's power swap network will cover, you guys know all this, you can read all this. By year end, they're supposed to add more than 2,300 county level divisions and 2,700 provincial level administrative regions. So that's extremely exciting when you cover 27 administrative regions, guys. Jazz hands. CATL, on the other hand, announced its own battery swap station rollout strategy exactly 4 months ago. Its goal then was to build out 1,000 Choco swap stations by 2025, end of the year, 10,000 midterm, and 30,000 stations in the future. That's, I said pie in the sky vapor. But, now that they're tied up with Nio, I can do nothing but sing their praises. I'm certainly willing to turn on a dime change all my opinions, give up all my convictions, and just go all in on this CATL Nio deal, because I am obviously, as you know, a huge Nio fanboy from way back. So Nio has formed battery swapping strategic partnerships with automakers including Chang'an, Geely, Chery, JAC, GAC, FAW, FAW, and Lotus, while CATL has established collaboration with 100 partners. It's 100 car companies, 100 partners, the battery swap ecosystem, including Chang'an, GAC, BAIC, Wuling, and FAW. So a lot of them are in both, which, makes perfect sense. I'll probably have different models that could fit into both ranges. So these initiatives give you an idea of how large a combined network could be and the breadth of the partnerships involved. The only question that remains, how fast Nio and CATL can expand this network, how many compatible battery swap models would be available, and how many of the stations would be compatible both with their individual swap partner ecosystem and across the ecosystem. Strategic partnership and the $2.5 billion investment by CATL are huge morale boosters for Nio, and the namesake Onvo has not met expectations. And their vice president came out and basically explained, what happened, why the Onvo didn't meet sales expectations, how they totally screwed up the ramp. And basically, guys, that was just user error. That was a self-inflicted wound. They shot themselves in the foot, and it was a huge setback for the company. I mean, you really have to say, Nio management completely fucked up the Onvo rollout. Completely fucked it up. Foobar. Snafu. The whole thing. So, customers got these wait times. They didn't just wait. They didn't just cancel orders, but it just caused everyone to sort of lose confidence in Onvo as a brand. And it's been, we're still feeling that pain, guys, as Nio investors. Because if Onvo was ramping like they said it was going to, and our numbers were up like they said they were going to be, and then you got this announcement, I think, it would have had a lot more legs in terms of a run. But so, in time of signing the strategic partnership was quite interesting. It happened just as BYD chairman Wang Chuanfu was introducing megawatt flash charging as fast as filling up gas in Shenzhen for the launch of BYD's Super E platform with out-of-this-world charging specs. How do you spell BYD? Bu Yang Dang. No need to wait. It's almost as if they're signing. The signing was an indirect shot across the bow at BYD. A statement in response to those who pondered after watching BYD's event: is battery swapping irrelevant now that you can charge an EV 5 minutes to get over 400 kilometers range as fast as battery swapping? Not so fast. Maybe. Given XPeng and Volkswagen Group, China announced earlier this year they plan to work together to provide more than 20,000 super fast charging points operated with both companies, 420 cities in China, including 13,000 already available in 230 cities across China through CAMs. Given the Li Audio plans to expand the supercharging network from the current only 1,900 to 4,000 by the end of the year, given Zeekr has already built around 1,500 supercharging stations, not to mention Tesla's superchargers, has become a bit of how ubiquitous among the majority of Chinese NEV owners in China. CATL founder, chairman, and CEO Robin Zhang predicted that by 2030, battery swapping, home charging piles, and public charging piles will account for a third of the market. I personally believe charging will remain the main road, while battery swapping is the side road in China's EV industry. I don't doubt that by 2030, but if it becomes really standardized and it becomes really good and enough companies get on board, I don't doubt that, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I think it is still an underdog to charging. Charging is completely ubiquitous. Swap is almost unknown. So, that's fair to say it's still, a long shot underdog situation. But I think if everything plays out right, if CATL, the Chinese state, all these names, I think battery swap could be a very, very significant player, especially when you consider what battery swap stations are. They also help the grid. They're power storage. You can charge them by solar. You can charge them in the middle of the night. You can charge them at off-peak times. You could charge batteries slower to prolong their life. Again, you can take bad batteries, dangerous batteries, defective batteries out of the system. How else can you do those checks? Do you have time to check the battery's health while you're doing a 5-minute fast charge? Is it like Pep Boys, where some disheveled guy with a stained polo shirt drags out that little cart? You're like, oh, you're going to need a new battery. Had nothing to do with the battery. I was looking for a new light bulb for my headlight. Battery's fine. Yeah, I don't know how to use this thing. I don't know how to hook it up. It's my first day. I want to quit this job, man. I have horrible dandruff. Why do they give us all black polo shirts in the auto parts industry? We all have horrible dandruff. Most of us also have beard dandruff. You guys familiar with the perils of beard dandruff? Do I use the shampoo? Do I have some beard dandruff wash? Head and chest? That's pretty funny. instead of Head and Shoulders. You get it? You get it? Get it? Anyway, guys, I don't know. This video is stupid. That's just an observation. So here's another article on CNEV Post. This is an interesting one. Okay, so Nio Firefly's first model will be launched April 19. Will use Nio swap stations. So they're going to use the Gen 5 swap stations, which will incorporate CATL's Choco swap stations, where they dip a banana in chocolate, then they flash freeze it, and they hand it to you while you're getting your battery swap done. That's the Choco Blocks Banana Special. The first model of Nio's third brand, Firefly, will be officially launched April 19. We'll use it, and it's going to be a demonstration. So they're going to build some swap stations that are compatible with Firefly, just where they have a lot of customers in these urban areas. So if you're going to be somewhere where there's not going to be a demonstration station, and you're going to buy a demonstration station, that rhymes, and you're going to buy a Firefly, basically you're going to be fast charging that bad Oscar, because it doesn't sound like you're going to have that much swap available covering a wide swath of the nation. Because battery, fifth gen battery swap stations are obviously just, they're just rolling out the fours, really. I mean, they still were just building threes not too long ago. So they're upgrading threes to fours. They're building fours. Now they're talking about fives, because Choco's no Joko, my friends. CATL's Choco Swap technology standard network will be introduced into Firefly's subsequently developed models, according to a statement from Nio. The partnership has brought a lot of attention to Firefly. Jim said of them, but no for necessary to explain the strategy of battery swap station. In this phase, first model Nio will set up demonstration battery swap station cities with high number of users. So I don't think this first Firefly is using the Choco. I think it's using some already obsolete proprietary little chicken shit Nio developed battery swap deal. It was going to be the smaller stations and stuff. So in the future, the model will be connected. This model. Okay, well, Nio's fifth generation. Does this mean Firefly is using Choco right now? I don't think so. But I'm not the smartest leaf in the shed. The new battery swap stations that Nio currently adding in China are the fourth generation stations that are compatible with Onvo's. Subsequent new models, which are currently being pre-researched. What does that mean? Like I said, you're dreaming about them. You're doing napkin sketches with Warren Red Balls. We'll introduce CATL's Choco Swap Standard Network in due course. Ooh, that tells us a lot. In due course. And we don't know when it's going to happen. The first Firefly model will be officially launched April 19. Nio officially launched Firefly, so you guys can read the rest of this. CATL announced 20 swappable battery pack December 18 last year, capacity of 42 kilowatt. Based on this coincidence, sparked some speculation social media that Firefly's first model could use relative Firefly carries LFP batteries. Supplier is Sunwada, and the first time Sunwada has been among Nio suppliers. So it sounds like they might be like a one and done type of situation for the good people over at Sunwada. Okay, so the Onvo president is out, trying to save face. He's scrambling around looking for somebody downfield to chuck a Hail Mary at, and he's probably on the chopping block. His testicles sucked up inside his duodenum faster than Usain Bolt doing advertisements. Onvo president Alan I explained in a new interview why deliveries have fallen short. Alan I kind of sounds like Allen Iverson. His last name is actually AI. That's pretty cool. He's like, hey, my name is AI. Talking to girls in bars. Like, we don't care. You're ugly. You have beard dandruff. Fuck off. So anyway, guys, I'm almost out of mini water. This broadcast is terrible. Can't imagine anybody's watching this piece of shit. So late last year, lack of preparation led to loss of orders, affecting not just deliveries at the time, but also the confidence of potential customers. So they basically dropped the ball right on their own foot, crapped their pants, shit the bed, and just said, good night now. Now, Onvo president Alan AII has broken the silence, explaining publicly the first time in an interview why deliveries fell short of expectation. The lesson he and his team learned. Onvo initially had 4 goals for the L60 SUV. AI told the outlet, deliver 20,000 units 2024, achieve monthly deliveries more than 10,000 units for third full delivery month. Enter top 3 sales, pure electric EV China in this price range, 200,000, 300,000. Achieve monthly deliveries exceeding 20,000. The first 6 or 7 month deliveries begin. They basically achieved the first 3 goals of the L60, but the first has been almost impossible to accomplish. It's largely due to the lack of preparation and timely delivery of vehicles. AI told Hushu, according to the text of an interview released yesterday, as a background, Onvo launched the L60 on September 19, 2024. Hey guys, sorry about that. I don't know if anybody can hear. I've been having so many problems with the streams. They're doing construction here, so I have like FiOS and they take out the wire and you just go dead. So I don't know. I guess I need to get like some kind of a T1 line, some kind of kid to tell me how to use the internet. This thing doesn't go down. But anyway, guys, sorry about that. I've pretty much gotten through, everything I wanted to say. So and then some. Yeah, there we go. We're back. Thank you, Not a Lurker. Appreciate that. Don't know how long it had been blank. Surprised anybody's here. We lost the Poco. We're back. What's up, Javier? What's up, Forever Forgiven? Low Country Luton Pawn, the great Low Country Luton Pawn. My physician of record and also my pawnbroker of choice has joined us on his free time when he's not saving the lives of inner city gunshot victims and the like. Or low country people who just ate too much spicy crawfish or etouffee. I think that's New Orleans, not low country. I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Shocker. In the meantime, Chase Sapphire Preferred may offer 100,000 sign-up points next week. Well, thank you, Bookers. Appreciate that. You guys, are you looking for a good credit card offer? You might want to talk with Bookers. We got the great Billy Jack. They call me Bubblegum. I'm soft, chewy, and pop under pressure. That's pretty good, Billy Jack. I believe Billy Jack updated his profile picture. You can see the whole man. I knew Billy Jack was a handsome big man. It's got to be. Man can cook. Ladies, I'm going to guess somebody's taking Billy Jack off the market. Probably snapped him up. Down Texarkana. No shortage of eligible beauties. Taking a good cook, a big man. Big man, you want a big man? Keep you warm in the winter. Not much fun in the summer. Big whiny Karen talking about it's hot and doesn't want to wait in line. Doesn't want to be on his diet. Doesn't want to take his medication. Oh, anyway, guys. What's up, Forever Forgiven? Let's see. Yeah, I shorted out, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, David Copperfield. I'm not a beautiful young woman. I don't think he made me disappear on his private island. Oh my God, that guy's so sketchy. Allegedly. Yeah, sorry guys about the technical difficulties. Inside again goes buddies and showed him the chat. Danny goes right into how shit this video is. Oh, it's a complete piece of shit. I got to be honest. What's up? It's Gilgo Beach Slayer rhymes with dildo. That's why I like him. Good night. I'm going to sleep. All right. Thanks for the announcement. Sharp as a shiny pickle. I think I'm sharp as a dill pickle. What's up, Maria Powell? How you doing? The great Maria Powell has graced us with her presence. Great to see you once again, Maria. Michael Anthony is here, the great singer, the man puts himself in front of a giant ad with a flowing white dress shirt. He's about 5'8", 105 pounds, somewhat defined abs, bony arms that could be confused as muscular. Yelling like Michael Jackson, screaming silently into a fan. He could be your hero, baby. He could. He could be anybody's hero. Anybody. Let's see. 10X is going to 400. I mean, 10X is going to go way, way up. FDA is going to approve levosamendan. They're going to sell a shit ton of it. The value now, they had 2 horrible deals with Roth. Horrible deals. You had to really buy through that dilution. Very, very difficult. Hey guys, I'm shocked. JAGX is doing another reverse split. It's a 25 for 1. That stock is trading at like 27 cents. Like 10 years ago, it was like $5 million a share. I'm not even kidding. And of course, I own shares because I'm an imbecile. But you guys knew that. This is funny. This is just funny. If you guys watch this all time. So it's gone from $100 million per share split adjusted to 25 cents. And that was since 2015. So in 10 years, if you guys think you had a bad stock, it could be worse. You could be me. You could be fat and handsome. It's no way to go through life. But this stock, CEO Lisa, one of the most brilliant executives in the history of the public financial markets, has steered this company using her able seamanship from $100 million per share down to 25 cents per share. Who owns shares? This guy. That's why I say, don't listen to me. I am a moron. I'm portly. Trust the Tebadaki method. That's the only trading system specifically developed for plus-size gentlemen. Gentlemen of certain proportions. Gentlemen of certain gravitas. Gentlemen who sweat in situations where it's unlikely and unwarranted. God, you're wheezing and sweating profusely. What happened? Some kind of an emergency? Were you just involved in an accident? Oh, I just went up one flight of stairs. Oh, Fatty McGee, you're the fattest. Would you take the elevator? I like the stairs. Anyway, guys, if you can't tell, the show's been over. It's over. It's complete turd. Let's see. We got PJO, could CATL. I mean, it sounds like they're not buying Nio, but this could definitely be the precursor. I mean, CATL is a massive, massive, massive company. Nio is a nothing burger company. I mean, their current market cap is like, I don't know what it is, 10 billion or something, less than 1 year's sales. What is the market cap? Oh, I'm not on the summary. Anyway, yeah, I mean, obviously they could buy them out, but I don't know if the Chinese government wants that. They're going to do whatever the Chinese government tells them to do. 750K. Bruh said unnecessary swearing. I want to hear a little more on 10X, Danny. Can you elaborate? Yeah, I mean, 10X is this company. It has these incredible doctors in, cardiology. Dr. Stuart Rich basically merged with 10X. He had a company called Precision Biomedical. His drug was actually not levosimendan. Levosimendan was the rights to that drug were purchased from a European company called Orion. Orion has been selling over 100 million, some years 150 million euros worth of that drug. It's for a particular type of heart failure called HPEF. There are no drugs whatsoever approved by the FDA for treating that. It's a quality. Basically, levosimendan has been proven to improve quality of life, physical function through the 6-minute walk test. FDA is in the bag for this thing. Dr. Stuart Rich was on the committee on the FDA for years that decided whether or not to approve these types of drugs. And he's the medical director for 10X. Their CEO is a young gun, kind of a little wet behind the ears, a little green behind the gills, Chris Giordano. He runs an Italian sub shop chain in his free time. But no, they have a great team. They've got old Declan Dugan, who when he's not playing in his Who cover band or whatever, he was I think a Scottish guy, physician. They have sort of an all-star team assembled in this cardiology space, and they have another drug coming behind levosimendan, which is Dr. Rich's drug, the name of which is escaping me right now, but it's for another indication. What they do, they reformulate these drugs. Levosimendan was an IV drug in Europe, and now it's going to be a pill. So it's going to be much more widely accessible, make a ton more sense, and everything like that. I'm going to do another video on it pretty soon, hopefully. I really love the stock. I like the company. I like the team. I like the potential. They just did $100 million money raise after those horrible Roth deals. And this deal was actually, surprisingly good, but Roth wasn't the deal runner. They got a real company that's not a bunch of scam artists, allegedly, in my opinion. Please, nobody sick their lawyers on me. Danny Deals can't handle that kind of action. But anyway, yeah, that's, my thumbnail on 10X is I think it'll start out once they get FDA approval selling a couple $100 million a year. And I think it could very quickly ramp into $1 billion a year drug. It'll be highly, highly profitable. They expanded their territory, made further deals for the rights to the drug with Orion. What happened to Orion is, their patents ran out after 20 years. So all the generics knocked them off, took a big bite out of their ass. And, that was the end of that party. The fat lady started singing. And a fat lady usually ain't got a great voice. Drive everybody out of the room. She gets it going. Ugh. Not every big woman can sing. Not every big man can sing. Sounds super legit, and damn the amount of research you knew. Kudos. Oh, Forever forgiven. Believe it or not, I might look like a big fat asshole, but I went to excellent universities, studied economics, studied math. I invest for very, very wealthy people, both in stocks and other, paper and also real estate for, millionaires and billionaires. People trust me with their money for a reason. I mean, of course, I don't buy penny stocks with their money because they would fire me. I mean, penny stocks, most of the time you lose your money. That's just, that's just a fact. So, if you're going to buy penny stocks, be extremely careful, research, take only, one out of 100, buy one every 10 years. That's about how often you'll find a good one. Of course, I, 20 plus X SMMT. I went bankrupt on GMDA. It's feast or famine, guys. You're going for home runs when you're going to swing wildly and strike out 9 times out of 10. Like Mark McGwire, your batting average is 191 and you're hitting like 75 home runs, 80 home runs. You're just so jacked up on steroids, you can't even put your own jacket on. So anyway, guys, that's it for this one. I was talking about Nio ostensibly, but of course, I started to ramble like a crazy person, as I'm wont to do. Would like to thank, of course, the great Princess J. Would like to thank the great QT. Want to thank the great Alberto Berdiaveles. Want to thank the best producer, best wrench in the business, of course, J Money Not a Lurker. Would like to thank all of you for being here. It has been the honor of my life entertaining you worthless, broke piker D-bags today. It's been so much fun. I'm going to go home and just reflect on the experience. Bask in it. Bask in it, folks. No, thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate you. Nio's going to explode. It's going to go past 7. I think it's going to go past 15. This deal says they're going to be here through the consolidation, through the shakeout. CATL is not going anywhere. They're the biggest battery company in the world as far as EVs go, and they're one of the most advanced. And I think this move is basically trying to stave off BYD, Tesla, other competitors, keep the competitive advantage. And if you're a company like CATL, you're looking at like, okay, we're selling a battery, which is a commodity. We're competing with everyone. It's a relatively low margin business. And yes, we make good money, but wouldn't it be better to have some recurring revenue, some software revenue, some service revenue? Like, do we just want to sell these boxes or do we want to get in the game? We want to get old big William Lee in here swinging his big stick and make us some real money with some real margins. That's what you want to do, folks. It's all ball bearings these days, folks. Thanks, guys. Peace. I'm out. It's un poco mas. We give you a little bit more. Thank you, guys.